Another unsurprising update on the border crisis, as Emmanuel Macron has clearly broken the migrant agreement he has with the British government, despite all the money we've sent him. Again, it's not the first time they've also broken the agreement, but at this point they are quite openly refusing to do anything about it. So, despite the friendship between Rishi Sunak and the other mini leader, Emmanuel Macron, and all the money that we sent them, when we know that there's the latest agreement that we had signed was £480 million. £480 million, what did they do? They have only intercepted less than half the crossings. The whole point of this new money and sending our border force to France was to make sure nobody crosses. So that hasn't happened. The official figures actually show that 13,759 illegal migrants, or 45.2%, have been stopped by the French since January. The total is down from 17,032, that was 45.8%, over the same period last year. So hang on. Before we gave them that new £500 million, they were stopping a little bit more boats, but it's actually gone down. So there has been no improvement on the interceptions at all. Now, I'm not shocked. I'm not surprised. We knew this was going to happen. When they signed the new, was it in February, the latest number that they gave? And they said, we're going to send our own police to go to Calais, to Dunkirk and all the other places to help with the French border force and the authorities. But then we discovered a few days ago that the whole, about half of the security on the beaches in France, they all went on holiday. Nobody was around. I'm so surprised that we haven't had more crossings. I mean, the last few days, last few weeks, we've had a couple of big days, high numbers, but it could have been much worse. I mean, it's so sad to say they could have been much worse than what we're dealing with right now. Since like 2020, that year, when the whole thing escalated, we were like, the numbers are not really looking good. 2021 was here, 2022 here, and now this year, it's similar to 2022. It's just completely chaotic. And if one day, instead of 700 people, if we have 500 people coming in, we celebrate. We say, oh, thank God for that. It shouldn't be like this. Any normal sane country with a flag also has a border. Including the European Union, they have external borders, and they're very precious about those external borders. Now, there's again another backlash inside the Tory party. You got backbench Tory MPs not being happy about it, but they have no power. We got Tim Lawton, who's been very proactive on this. We also have actually Natalie Elphicke, who's the local MP in Kent, in Dover, who is also furious about this situation as usual. Tim Lawton, who was a former minister, and I would say a member of the House of Commons Home Affairs Committee, told The Telegraph that these figures are very disappointing given the huge investment of resources funded by the British taxpayer, which we have been reassured has led to enhanced patrols and therefore much better interception rates. Clearly, we are paying more money to the French police to continue failing to stop even more migrants on their beaches before they get into the water. We need an immediate value for money assessment of exactly what the British taxpayer is getting for their money. I don't think we need an assessment. We just need to stop it. Stop sending in money. And basically, the moment the migrants arrive here, put them on a big ship or on a helicopter, whatever, land them there. Land them back in Dunkirk or Calais or wherever they come from and see what happens. There's going to be an outrage. There's going to be an international court session. They're going to take us to the European Court of Justice. I don't care. It's time to be rebellious. They're being allowed, the Europeans, to do this to us, turning a blind eye. The migrants are coming here. Why are we not kicking off? Why are we not taking them to court? I don't understand this. Why should we wait for them to take us to court? Everyone's obsessed with international law. Why are we not doing anything about it? All right. Natalie Elphicke also said that this was a dismal record. She called for the French to agree to joint patrols with the UK on French beaches, which Paris has resisted. We know that. But what's the point? Stop with the joint operations. It makes absolutely no sense. They don't want to help us. We know they don't want to help us. They keep claiming that we are happy neighbors, we're loyal partners. Despite us saving their lives a few decades ago, they don't really care about any of this. And the moment the Eurozone goes fully bankrupt, they're going to come back to us and America for us to bail them out. And we're going to do it. Of course we're going to do it. For the stability of the Western system. of course. Now, why are we dealing with even the European Union? It's not just about Macron. The EU recently rejected the New Deal for returning the migrants. And then Brussels kicked off and they decided to rebrief the papers in the UK saying, can you tell your people that we haven't actually rejected the deal? We're just not agreeing to it. I'm sorry, what? So they were not happy about these headlines a few days ago that they rejected the deal. So they kicked off saying, we need to correct the statements. We haven't rejected the migrant deal. We're just not doing it. So wait, you're not refusing. You're just not operating on it. I mean, this should not be my job to do this. This should be the mainstream press and media, the job of the broadcast media to scrutinize this, to have conversations on TV, to have debate, to have the so-called experts to come, to have panels, to have investigations, documentaries. No, they're not doing it. That's why I have to do what I do. And many others like me, the independent new media outlets. It's sad that we are where we are. I mean, I'm not complaining. I love my job, but it shouldn't be my job to do this. Well, we will do it because they're not doing it. Thanks to your support. All right, let's take a break. We're going to come back in half an hour. I'm Mahyar Tousi, and we are the media.